Whoa, lovely people, how you doing? Hope everyone's just absolutely unbelievable. Guess what? More cover-up. That's right. How did you know? More cover-up. Unbelievable. So, my mum was actually looking at my last video, and she said, hang on a sec, you've said in one of the comments that the VISI and OSSI is a word meaning east in Germanic, because they both seem to refer to that. They're both from the east. That's not correct. She said we can actually read Visigoth, and these in Polish, and they make better sense. Let's investigate. Just unbelievable. And we're talking about Slavs. Look, I have to say, the word Slav does not exist. It doesn't exist. It's a Slavic. So similar to these Swavi people. This page I've just found, just brilliant. This jassa.org. But anyway, the Visigoths. Look, in Latin, it's actually, what's happened is the word's been compounded. The tribe Vasi has been applied to the word Goth. So it's Visi, Vesi was an early Germanic people, along with the Ostrogoths, who they basically conquered Spain and Italy, basically. The Visigoths did Italy. The Visigoths did Spain, the Ostrogoths and the Visigoths did Italy. And the Vandals also did Italy. And these people, where are they from? They're supposedly from Scandinavia. And then on the way, they stopped in Poland. And they continued all the way down to the coast, to the Black Sea. And then they went to Italy. And supposedly, they're Germans. Very interesting. So we look up the nomenclature. So let's investigate. The Visigoths were never called... Because I'm going to explain to you what these terms mean, right? But in Wikipedia, they don't know what the terms mean. So it says here, that because they're only using West German, like they're only using Western languages to decipher them. Why don't they try Eastern languages? It works. So we're going to find that out. So the Visigoths were never called Visigoths, only Goths, until Cassiodorus used the term. When referring to their loss against Clovis in 507, Cassiodorus apparently invented the term based on the model of the Ostrogoths, but using an older name of the Vasi, one of the tribal names of the 5th century poet. The 5th century poet Sidonius Apollinaris had used when referring to the Visigoths. So it says here the first part of the Ostrogoth name is related to the word east, and Jordanes, the medieval writer, later clearly contrasted them in his Getica, stating that Visigoths were the Goths of the Western country. According to Wolfram, Cassiodorus created this east-west understanding of the Goths, which was a simplification literary device, while political realities were more complex. You bet, because none of that is actually true. They're both from the east. There's no east-west. So what they're saying is Visi is Westen, is from Westen in German, Westen, which means west, and Ostro, they're saying, means east, Ost in German, but they're forgetting the RO. This is very interesting. So it says here the term Visigoths was later used by the Visigoths themselves in their communications with the Byzantine Empire, still in use in the 7th century. Right. So, looking at the article on the Visigoths, it's quite interesting indeed. It's very interesting. They came from Eastern Europe, down through here, up through here, down there, up there, and they looking for a homeland. They settled in Spain, and I was looking through this article. It's just fascinating. There's a Visigothic church, believe it or not, church. Capital from the Visigothic Church of San Pedro de la Nave, province of Zamora. So I showed this to Mum. She said, "Oh, Zamora, that's a Polish place name, a Polish word." There's heaps of places in Poland starting with Zam. Zam is like ground, or I believe the root is ground. Visigothic Church in Zamora, Spain. And we were thinking, what the hell is the place name Zamora doing in Spain? Unbelievable. But anyway, look, now I'm prepared to accept the Visigoths do have some very Germanic names, except for Vititsa. I'm not sure about that, but the other ones, look, Valia. Valia is actually, honestly, that's Latin. That's Latinus. But anyway, Theodoric, Uric, Ulric, Theodoric, Luvigild, Rekared, Zisabut, Svintila. Yes, they can be Germanic. When we get to the Ostrogoths, though, you're going to see that's going to change. So the Ostrogoths, Okay, what does Visigoth mean? So why don't we just do this right now? So I type VISI, German to English. What's going to happen? Nothing. I type VISI. I type VISI. I type VISI. I can do any combination. It's not in German. It's not a German word. But Mum said it's actually, if you put it into Polish, which is where they're sort of from, it actually does make sense. They become the hangmen. Yep, that's right. They become literally the hangmen. Oh no, the effort in this one. Visi. There we go. Hanging. So Mum said it means, so if you say Visigo, it means you hang him. And there's something for Ostrogo as well. So now we'll try the German for, because these are supposedly Germanic tribes, for Ost. Ost is east, obviously. We see that's translated into east. But now let's try Ostro, which is what it actually is. And as you see, there's no translation. It doesn't work. I've noticed it works. Now, why not use Eastern languages? They're from the East. I notice it does work in Lithuanian. First, we'll look at Polish, because Mum said, well, in Polish, Mum said it's a Polish word. It means sharp, the sharp ones. So are these derogatory terms for them, the Ostrogoths and the Visigoths? So are these derogatory terms, Ostro and Visi? So one is the hangman and one is the sharp ones. And that reminds us of the names of Germanic tribes, like the Franks. The Franks carried a sword around, which was called a Frank. So we're starting to get somewhere. But there's another possibility. Look, Lithuanian, why not try another Eastern language or Central European language or whatever you want to call it? Boom. Okay, not for Ostro, but let's try for Visi, yes. Hang on, let's try it that way. We'll find it all. It was Visi. So Visi in Lithuanian is all. So that's very interesting as well. All Goths. All. And that is like the Olmena tribe. And you see, that's something you don't find in Wikipedia. So there are words in Polish and Lithuanian and who knows what other Eastern languages that they do not even consider. So what I'm showing you is there's history that hasn't been done. There's history work that hasn't been done. Let's check the Ostrogoths. So this is where the Visigoths are from, and from there apparently. But that's also where the Rus are from, and I've kind of shown the Rus could be a Slav tribe. The name of Sweden is Swav. Sweden. It's got that. This is where the Ostrogoths are from. And supposedly they both came through there. The Ostrogoths, the Visigoths. If you look at the names of the kings, it's it's happening again. Do you see what's happening? Valamir, Feodamir. So I looked this up. Apparently Demir is a Turkish name, and Damir is also a Slav name. And being from, I guess, the Ukraine region, this would make a bit of sense. Other names, look, they could be anything. Amalasunta, Theodahad, Vitigas, Ildibad, Erarik. I reckon this is a really, it's a mix of peoples. It's a mix of peoples from the East. That's what it is. And it's fascinating, isn't it? Ostrogoths apparently from here, but here's the thing: why are they calling themselves the East Goths when they're here next to the other Goths? The thing is, the Goths don't come from here. There have been Gutians in Asia for thousands and thousands of years before this. 2000 BC, the Gutians sacked Sumer. 2000 BC. That is 2,000 years before this. So there have been Goths, and in India, the Gets. These people are an Aryan tribe from Asia, and they're saying, oh well, they're Vikings from Scandinavia. So you see, the history is just absolutely ridiculous. So I hope I've shown you now that these theories are not quite correct. It's so interesting. You look up what you look at. I mean, it says here, Ostro. Let's go right to the start. Let's go. the Gothic language. Yes, they might have used the Gothic language. Look, some of them might have used the Gothic language. We have one book from the Ostrogoths, one book from the Visigoths, and according to each of these, it's in this old type of something that sounds a bit like Swedish, to be honest. So yes, there are Vikings mixed in, but are they all Vikings? If they settled in Poland for centuries and centuries, and they brought with them great armies to sack Rome, are they really going to be just a few people who fit on a few Viking ships? This doesn't make any sense to me. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. So there you go, just amazing. You can read this for yourselves. Otto Atzer. I don't even think these are German names, to be honest. Anyway, there we go. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed this, people. So we've seen that VISI doesn't work in German. OSTRO doesn't work in German. They don't work in Swedish. They don't work in Norwegian. They don't work in Danish or Saxon or any. But they work in languages from the east of these places. There you go. History is wrong.